Glad to have you join us on another edition of the program, Focus Live, right here on OGTV, the People's Telly. I am Dominic Agbeah. Focus is a no-holds-barred discussion program where we take a look at different issues, really, in the society. If they are good, yes, we laud, we commend them, as a matter of fact, so that others can actually emulate such gestures. And of course, if they are bad, we know them, yes, we condemn them and expect that actions be taken in order to correct such acts. Today we are going to be doing the former, that is, we are going to be lauding someone who has actually impacted Nigeria and of course Nigerians, someone whose impact actually goes beyond the shores of Nigeria, someone who has actually etched his name in gold. His name is actually etched on the sands of time, and for years and generations to come, no doubt about that, he will actually remain on the lips of many, as a matter of fact. It is no other than Professor Wole Soyinka. They call him Kogi. And yes, today we are going to be taking a deep dive really into his life, into the impact he has actually made both in the literary world and the society at large. Don't forget that Kogi is actually 92. Yes, 92 years on the face of the earth, 92 years of impact, 92 years of touching lives. We're going to be looking at all of this on the program this afternoon. And I've been joined by two guests who actually know so well, yes, about Kogi himself, Professor Wole Soyinka. We are going to be looking at his life and times and how, he has actually made so much of impact on the society. From my immediate left is Fatai Adi-Loja, a veteran broadcast journalist. It is a pleasure having you in the studio with us, sir.
My utmost pleasure being invited. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
We are so happy to also have you, yes, on this table discussing Professor Wole Soyinka. And to complete the team is someone who actually does not only know about Professor Wole Soyinka, he also loves, is passionate really about Professor Wole Soyinka, to the point that he actually wrote a book titled The Wole Soyinka in Me, as a matter of fact. He is an author and of course a publisher, Dada Olanipekun. It's a pleasure having you join the conversation.
Good afternoon.
I really do not know where to start from, really, but probably we should start from one of the timeless words of the professor himself. He said, and I quote, he said, "The man dies in all who keep silent in the face of tyranny." Really, that's timeless. That actually reverberates across generations and years. What really motivated such a timeless word?
Well, if you know Kogi, you know why. You mentioned or used that statement. It's part of humanity and it's part of justice. That he believes in justice. He believes he should speak up. And he speaks out a lot in his works as a writer. In his fight against corruption, in his fight against religious activity, in his fight against politics that are not suitable for Africa. So if you take a look at Kogi and look at that, you see, and if you have read some of his works, somebody who has written more than 2 books, it's not shocking, right? Somebody who does not believe in taking water for wine, somebody who is highly and deeply respected all over the world, somebody who won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1986, first in Africa. If you believe somebody who is a Catholic leader, I'm not saying he's a Catholic, but a Catholic leader means a lot to those of us who are creating words. When he talks, talks cheap. Take a look at on his voice. His baritone voice is shaky, right?
You want to listen to the words.
You want to listen to him. This kind of this accordator is an accordator. Is somebody that's hey, we are lucky to have enough. Because if you travel outside this country and you mention and you write like that, talk about my friend is 80, 92. He has spent more than 1,000 plus months. He has spent more than 3 days on earth. At 92, as a teacher, the ball is in your court now. Because he has played his part. He's been able to display the humanity that, yes, I'm a writer, a good writer, a gifted writer, a bad. His words are powerful. Because he stated something very important. That is part of him as a powerful writer, as a gifted writer, as a respected writer, all from Africa. And look at how he fought Trump. To an extent that Trump decided to withdraw his visa. But we are lucky he's at home. Because if Trump has not decided to stop him coming to America, he won't be in town. He won't be for us. And within the couple of years he has been on ground now. Well, if you take a look, go to Jegba, his village, right? Oh. They make marvelous people. And you look at him through that. He has decided to give that image. So for now, as part of sharing his energies, he's not dead yet, and he will live longer.
Now, looking at Professor Wole Soyinka and most of his works, really, would you say that, considering that there were quite a number of his contemporaries also, as at that time, also doing fantastically well. I mean, would you say it's a surprise, really, that he eventually became the first Nobel Prize winner, in Africa?
To a number of us, the proteges of Soyinka, it wouldn't come as a surprise. Going by his fecundity, his productivity, his uniqueness as a writer. Kongi did say when he writes with the notion that there will be a sizable number of people who operates at the same wavelength with him. That's, to a number of us, is far from being true. Kongi operates at a much higher frequency than any intellectual I have known. Are you talking of the use of language? Are you talking of a thematic concern, the fight against injustice, oppression? Are you talking of his audacity, the boldness to confront evil, to confront autocratic rule anywhere, any day, any time, not minding who the person is? Kongi is in a class of his own. As a writer, when Kongi writes, you are compelled to read. Even when you know some of the time, or I would rather say most of the time, you keep wondering what is he driving at here, due to what people call linguistic obscurantism, or what some would say esoteric in nature. It does not write for the ordinary. I'll give you an instance. Some years back, Japan Broadcasting Corporation, they were working on a documentary on Kongi, and they were at Abilgrams. So in that particular encounter, he was talking to some secondary school students. I think it was a particular topic he picked, and he was trying to discuss Obotunde Ijinere's work, The Imprisonment of Obatala. One of the students stood up, said, "My father was your student at the University of Ibadan, and he was always complaining of you being a difficult writer. But going by what we are facing here today, the way you are guiding us, teaching us, I don't think I want to believe my father's admission." And Kongi said, "Oh, your father, as a university student, does he expect I will be spoon-feeding him as I am spoon-feeding you now?" That is Soyinka for you. A writer or anybody who is addressing the public, a communicator, must also take into cognizance the audience he is addressing. And that's the beauty of Soyinka's work. And when you find it difficult, there are some elements of humor. He has an infectious sense of humor. One thing will compel you to read Soyinka. Of course, take a look at one of these simplest ones, The Trials of Brother Joe. I am a prophet. A prophet by birth and by inclination. You have probably seen many of us on the streets, many leading processions, many looking for processions to lead. I am a prophet. You see, when you are listening to that speech, you're having some mental picture of prophets, pastors. He will later also write another one depicting the characters of these people. Requiem for a futurologist. Of course, you know, every year you listen to them talking about who will die, who will live, who, you know, that is talking about commercialization of religion, talking about lack of sincerity on the part of religion, talking about people's psyche, so being controlled in a way you will not expect of somebody who has some modicum of brain. So Soyinka writes for the ordinary, he writes also not for the ordinary. More importantly, Soyinka writes for the intellectually inclined people. And that's what stood Kongi out. You must also remember that in virtually all of Kongi's works, you will know he does not forget about his root. The use of language, the use of Yoruba language, the proverbs. In a way, you will not expect someone who is that deep, who the Igbo people even at the forum said, this man has twisted our language beyond our understanding. That is Kongi for you. And Kongi is multidimensional. Some of these contemporaries you are talking about could be writers, they might not be actors, they might not be directors. Kongi is creative in every sense of the word. He is an actor, he is a dancer, he is a musician. In fact, there is a play of his we took to Italy. I was part of that production team. From There with Love. You need to see some of those songs when, even if you cannot follow the language or whatever, you are compelled to enjoy that drama, listening to some of the songs. And of course, when you're watching Kongi's play, you know that you must watch with full concentration. Otherwise, you might not even get the story, the thematic concern, you just be there. But at the end of the day, because almost all of the elements of the theater are embedded in his work, you will have something to take home.
Let's take a look at most of his works, really, from the Trials of Rajero, Lion and the Jewel. Most of us read that. As a matter of fact, it was a delight. While we were in school, to the Kogi's Harvest, Before the Blackout, and quite a number of
Swamp Dwellers.
Quite a number of those wonderful, timeless books. That he wrote. Really, where do you think Kogi got all of this inspiration?
Well, I think let me first of all debunk certain areas of his works. I strongly believe the stereotype attitude of some people. If we had read Shade International, if we had read The Lion and the Jewel, then what taste do you expect from Soyinka? What is hard in that? There is that mental laziness in many readers. If somebody, he said it, Fatai said it, he had what we call at times that hard step to go along. At times he soft pedal a little bit for some other readers that they enjoy.
If you're the audience,
if you take a look at some of his novels, the Season of Anarchy, or the Interpreter, or there's this other one I've forgotten now. It has its class.
Ibadan.
Those are some of the. You take a look at some of the memoirs or autobiographies. You see the Ibadan, the peculiar Penkele Mercy, Alakpata, Akpata. Right? And I said he had written more than 52 books. He doesn't rest when it comes to books. And if you have passion for something, he trained himself. He's a good, wonderful reader. And if you're a good, wonderful reader, you are good. And you have forgotten about, he said it, he believes in Yoruba methodology. And he strongly believes in researching. If you have read the King's,
Not the King's Osman.
That Eleshi Oloko Eshi,
as translated by Akiwo Mishola.
Oh my God, that is marvelous. So we have forgotten that he's a research fellow. He started as a research fellow when he was at UI. One of these consultants, or what do you call them, who believes in researching for gave him one, what do you call this vehicle, that jalopy, that it takes around to do research in Yoruba methodology.
The
and
culture.
It's deeply rich in that. He has passion. He made himself. He built himself when it comes to literary. So now you're asking, is it the issue of literature alone? The issue of literature is just one of them. Part of it. What about his films? Right? The Kongi. What about the Prodigal?
Blues for the Prodigal.
Blue for the Prodigal. So you see the creative filmmaker in him. And when you talk about music, I love my country, I no go lie. Now inside, I go live and die. When you shake me, I shake up. Look at somebody. So when he wants to tackle issues, he will take a look at, do I go musical? Do I go literary? Do I make bold statements and roar like a lion? Right? Is it not a special breed? Right? Is it not a special breed? His source or sources of inspiration is left for him. Right? It's not a thing Fatai or I can decide. Right? But all I know is he enjoys taking wine. He said it. Right? Rather than taking water. Maybe that is another source or sources of inspiration for him. He enjoys taking it.
Of course, I've spoken about the source of inspiration. What you is well rooted in Yoruba culture. And that is reflected in virtually, if not all of his works. And what is the issue we are grappling with now that Soyinka has not talked about? I remember in the early 80s when I was just entering the University of Ife, we had, the song which my Egbon just alluded to. In that particular song, there are so many issues there. If you still 10 cover of the total population, you take 10 million na patriotism. You go get chieftaincy title na national honor. If you still even bigger than say na rumor, monkey dey walk to babu dey shout and dey there someday he go stop. I know my country, I know the law. Now inside I'm a believer. When you talk me so, I turn so. It pushes me, I push out my own good. Now what are we talking? Up to now, corruption still rears its ugly head in bigger dimensions than we ever witnessed there. There during Shagari era, we're talking of the importation of rice, the likes of Diko. And Kongi came up with a piece. Rice. Iresi. Now, they were talking of importation of rice. At the end of the day, it was not affordable. Look at the price at which people are buying rice now. Kongi has talked about it. Talking about, oppression, oppressive, repressive regimes, he will not allow them to rest.
We'll talk about, some of the current challenges we are facing and Kogi's disposition to some of them. Let's quickly also take a look at some controversial moments, really, about Kogi that has probably made some people to want to, take a few steps back, really, and that's his involvement in the creation of confraternity, which we all know, what confraternity has turned into now in the country.
Yeah, people got it mixed up.
That is it.
Kogi had a noble intention, bringing together people of like mind to form the pirate confraternity. What were the original motives? To ensure there was no segregation of any type. Where you have some people, going along were the elites of this world, they now believe they own that citadel of learning. It was meant to ensure equity, fair play. Now, if you love this foreign culture, that's a cup of coffee. You can go in your tie, your suit. That shouldn't stop us from those of us who prefer our traditional attire. It was meant to create a just, equitable society. And of course, take a look at those you find in pirate confraternities. You have the best of brains. You have name any profession under the sun that you will not find this character doing great, doing very well. And of course, every blessed year you have them, coming up with one topic on national issues, dissecting and, talking about them holistically, bringing the best of brains. But that noble idea was hijacked. That was never the intention of Kongi. And that has never been the modus operandi of the pirates. One good thing about Soyinka, do you think he is worried, really? Why wouldn't Kongi be worried? He is worried. And that's why he keeps telling people we have outlawed this
on campuses.
Association on campuses. If anybody parades himself or herself, of course, female students were not even allowed. I'm sure they're not, even despite efforts for them wanting to be members. So it's been outlawed. If you have any of them parading themselves, Kongi and his team will not approve of any such thing that they are doing. It stands for what is best for this country. It stands for what is best for humanity. It knows what these zero-headed people are doing is at variance with the original concept of pirate confraternity. Let me tell you that of recent, at his 98th birthday, they wrote a book, not even one, a number of books. And when Soyinka was making his remark, he said they deliberately allow the members to do the writing, to produce the book, so that they will not say Kongi has come with a big grammar again. With Kongi, you have the freedom to be who you want to be. You have the freedom to be what you want to be. Do you know that until very recently, not many people would believe I am not a pirate because of my closeness to Soyinka. That is to tell you, religion, tribe, or whatever, do not dictate who will be close to Soyinka. I give you an instance. One particular year, it was the Muslim Ramadan season, and I was with Soyinka. It was getting late, about 7. He was the one to remind me, Farai, time for iftar is near. Won't you go and break fast? I said, which fast? I don't fast. In fact, people do not know, might think it is because of my closeness to you that I don't care a hoot about religion. Soyinka will not bother you what religion you practice, what you do with your life, as far as it is not in any way affecting others.
Probably we should also touch on, another controversial issue about Soyinka. And this one happened in 1965, if I am actually correct. I'm sure you know what I'm about to talk about. When he held a radio station, presenter at gunpoint.
Yeah.
That this radio presenter should not, announce the results, or so to say. That's also very controversial. And has also made quite a lot of persons to say, perhaps.
That's an action I will commend anytime, any day. The boldness. I spoke about audacity. Kongi can be so audacious. And he knows if you people are feeding people with life, there must be an alternative. Forget about the style. Of course, I've told you, Kongi is not an ordinary thing. Just like he rightly said. He is the one that we can also, in fact, he is the one that deserves that appellation.
I think
you can imagine, the boldness is out of this world. To have entered, I wouldn't know whether it's a real gun or a toy gun. But he wanted to achieve a result, and which he did. He's a result-oriented person, not minding whatever system he had, because he knows that those he was dealing with, or he is still dealing with, are rogues. So you don't adopt conventional methods to deal with such characters.
Does he look back and still feels proud of that moment too?
He is proud of whatever action he has taken. That's Kongi. I'm sure. Because before Kongi embarks on any form of action, he must have thought it over and over. And this is a person who does not fear for his life. How do you penetrate the Biafran enclave when the war was raging? Without even caring, it could be shot at, and the life might have ended there.
But I think I should add to that. The issue of fraternity you quoted him. He said, only a fool. How do you put that quotation? Only a fool. I've forgotten the quotation now. Only a fool keeps quiet in the face of tyranny and oppression.
Okay, he said the man dies in him who keeps silent in the face of tyranny. Of course, called for
right? UI then was hot, full of injustices. Hence the formation of that fraternity to save students and others, to bring order to UI. And if you look at some of them who created that fraternity, Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, you say the tribalized Nigeria. He nearly died, he said it, because of Okigbo, a poet. Because he wanted to go there and ask Okigbo, come out, you're a poet, don't get involved with this battle. Unfortunately, Okigbo died, but he got imprisoned for many years. That is Kongi. So you look at such a person who risks his life, who keeps risking his life for community and for humanity. So you look at that level of a being. He's a special being. I said we are lucky in Africa to have such a person. He's aging. I keep repeating. The ball is now left for all of us to take a look at. So now I'm not happy with certain things that they look at him now as, because somebody is in power, he has to make noise. Okay, please do. Okay?
Now, you wrote a book,
Yes, please.
The Soyinka in Me. What informed that?
Well, I met him first when I was at OGBC as a producer. I was at Ife to interview him. At least then, by now, I've read over 45 of his works out of his 52 books. 45. I have some of his works here. And it shocked me.
We can have some of them. Let's take a look at some of them. Go ahead, we can go ahead.
Autobiography. So I met him and I said, I'm from Abeokuta. He said, Abeokuta. Because of that words, he granted, not that he was a parochial or that I came from Abeokuta. You came all the way from Abeokuta. Wow. He granted the interview for me at UGBC. Now, he had forgotten something. His role as a marshal to save life. He was nearly messed up by some idiots. He defended himself in some of his chronicles, right? You take a look on such a being who believes in saving humanity. Look at many people who had died on that road until the formation of the road marshal, which eventually is now something else. FRSC. Yeah. So I think a character like that, specially created, and you are talking about a radio station, that is part of the dramatist in him, right? I read this because I want to eulogize him, right? Because what else can I do? I'm a poet too, because I was chairman of the Association of Nigerian Authors for 2 terms, and I used that time to meet him. I used that situation to bring other writers in Southwest to meet him, right? And some of them were shocked when we went to Ijegba to see how the whole place is. Right? So when you take a look on such a person, we need to eulogize him, that he should live on. Right? Shakespeare is there. The British or the Britons are eulogizing Shakespeare. We have to eulogize what we have in Africa.
Why he's alive.
Why he's still living. Right? As a matter of fact, Soyinka does not need me. I need Soyinka more than him. Right? The person he has built. Somebody like me, I don't need to eulogize him. He has been able to dramatize to the world, to write to the world, to indicate to the world that yes, I'm a being, I'm a writer, I'm a humanist, to the core. Right? And you have forgotten that one of his first works was used during the Independence Day. right?
Dance of the
Dance of the forest, right from the beginning, right? So the writer in him is a great person. The human being in him is a good person. The responsibility of humanity that he has carried all along is great for us, especially those of us who are Yoruba, right? And we don't need to pretend that we are not Yoruba, right? We need to let people have the kind of people we have who are deeply creative. We need to go along with them, not that we are fools. And there's something we have in Yoruba land: respect, respect, respect. Our respect for him at 92.
Now, you wanted to actually talk about this, but I didn't allow you to talk about. I mean, you can as well contribute really to it, and it's actually Wole Soyinka's voice.
Okay.
Bold voice, really, over the years, which many say is actually dimming now.
Dimming?
I mean, yes, it's actually
dimming in terms of what?
It's actually getting low. I mean, Soyinka as always was a fierce critic of those in power, even the military. He looked at them in the eyes, really, to call them out and to really point out their errors, really, at them. You know, but in recent times we have not really heard much of that really from Soyinka. I mean, is it because of the old age? I mean, has old age affected his voice that it can no longer really roar as it was roaring, you know, in the days of the military?
Kongi remains his bold self. The lion keeps being the lion. Nothing has changed. But many people don't even follow the trend of events. When he went to Aso Rock to meet Tinubu, because I'm sure it's because of Tinubu, a number of people are saying this, that he has not been too critical of this government as he used to be in the past. He said it live and direct. I advised him against contesting, that he should look for a younger person and back the person for presidency. He said, but the Olori Kokun in him will not allow him to listen. That is choosing to be what God meant it for him to be. But that is not to say we did not. If you didn't know what he did, behind the camera was able to tell the world that if I had my way, Tinubu won't be president. It will be a younger element. Then you would have also seen a clip where he condemned the ostentatious lifestyle of Sheyi Tinubu. Yep. Which, you know, maybe are we having another government or whatever, said he thought it was a movie production until he was told that it was the president's son. You see, he has a way. Even those ones you are talking about, the level at which they were taking people for granted was such that someone of Soyinka's standing will not keep quiet. It's not keeping quiet. But people now expect him, even at this advanced age. He has said it. He has played his own part. What are we doing at our own level? How old was he when he held the radio station? How old was he when he penetrated the dangerous Biafran enclave? How old was he when he confronted the autocratic military African leaders across the continent? And it was not restricted to Africa alone. It was a strident voice against tyranny. Be it in America, be it in Europe or anywhere. So what do we expect? By now, Kongi should just enjoy his rest, but he will not. That's the man for you. So you do not expect that, okay, Perhaps he has a soft spot for Tinubu. He possibly might have his reason. The democracy we're enjoying today, give it to him. Tinubu played a pivotal role when the NADECO team were trying to wrestle government from the military. It was at the forefront. And of course, it was also at the forefront of the war against the military on annulment of June 12th. So, there are a number of things you also should consider. If he had worked with him, if he was also one of those who made Radio Kudirat vibrant, which provided alternative voice to the lies we were being fed with by the military, the likes of Onagoro, the then loquacious information minister. So, Conge has not been too sad.
I think I should add some words to this. Humanity or human beings at times are funny. If actually somebody has lived his life for humanity, won't there be a time you should take a break or take a rest? You won't kill him. You've forgotten most of the time Conge will be on the road to demonstrate physically. For how long will he continue to do that? There are styles he has. There are certain systems Conge uses to get things done properly. And he's doing that now. But I said, if he has soft spot for Mr. President, it shows the fight, the battle for democracy together. And democracy is there. If the president too respects him, because I read when he was in Brazil, the president wanted to offer his seat. The president of Brazil was shocked. You are the president? Conge is a writer, and he said, Ewajuko. Right? I think we have to be a little bit careful that at times you have to look at your life and rethink or re-strategize. I presume that is the kind of approach. And this man called Conge has never stopped talking. He keeps on writing, right? That if you are not taking my talking ability, my works are there to attack the idiots, sorry for using that word, who are destroying the country. Can you tackle the military? You as a broadcaster, can you tackle the military? Can you tackle the corrupt politicians? You can't. You have to be fair to him. At 92, right? He has played his part. And he keeps on playing his part. There's no point forcing him to be on the road. Let you and I now be on the road and face the guns. If we could do that.
Let us take it from where he stopped.
I was convinced at 92. He hasn't stopped. Right? It's only the style that is different. His concept and approach to societal problems. I remember I was on location with Baboni when he was producing that film. He shocked me. How he related with ordinary people on the road. As a matter of fact, I was the first person that promoted that film in Abeokuta because of the privilege and advantage. And I could see that film that's a way to indicate, if you say Conge film is stronger, if you want to stronger, can you now watch this? Can you now listen to I love my country and now do that? I think there's a level that you have to take a break, or else you break. He's not going to break, he's still strong. Right? The age is selling on him.
At 92, I mean, the man has done well for himself and so well, really, for humanity. I wouldn't say for Nigeria, because the impact and the influence traverses the shores, the borders of Nigeria. Wole Soyinka, we have quite a number of his works here. Aki, The Years of Childhood. Right?
That's autobiography, memoir.
Oh, really? We have Wole Soyinka, The Interpreters. Here.
Yes, that is novel. One of his first novels.
Death and the King's Osman.
Election.
And then we have The Lion and the Girl. Wow.
The simplest of all. What else do you want to read?
Kogi's Harvest. The popular Kogi's Harvest. And then Alakpata. I mean, quite a number of them. And then poems of Black Africa.
Just to encourage poets. Is there. To encourage poets generally.
I mean, quite a number. Fantastic works, really. Fantastic. But really, do we have... I mean, Kogi is 92. He has lived, I mean, if we talk about life expectancy, really, he has crossed that age, really, life expectancy in Nigeria. You know, he's 92, he's lived long. Anything can happen now. Do we have people who are actually going to take over or who are taking over already? Who we can say when Kogi is no more, we can say, okay, this person is doing fantastically well. He's throwing that shadow, really.
I think one is then another. One is then another. You have forgotten that there were Shakespeare's. After Shakespeare's, there were other writers. Writers will ever exist. We always exist. May he live long. If Kongi says, oh, Ogun, take me today, Ogun will not take him for now. Other writers will also wake up and write. My only fear is, Jomi, Kulumi, Lemu. No matter one human being, that can be you. You are you. Kongi is him. Is him. Is him. I'm not Kongi. I can never be Kongi. I can only emulate Kongi. So I think those of us who are now trying, look at the way Fatai has been projecting him. Look at the way I've been projecting him. We have to project him. He has enemies, but he knows how to handle his so-called authors. Right?
Now,
I can't have
the likes of Socrates.
Okay, I like that.
Had proteges who were actually always around him, following him from and then, Socrates left, and these people, we have the Platons of these, the Aristotles of this world. I mean, the
Soyinka's list of proteges is inexhaustible.
Quietly
inexhaustible. We have a whole lot of them doing well in America. Oh, let me now tell you that one of Soyinka's students at Ife, Awam Ankpa, is now his boss in Abu Dhabi University. And whenever Soyinka wants to talk about Awam, he will say, my boss. I will just laugh. But which boss are we talking about? What tells you the kind of person Soyinka is? Once he trains you and he can, vouch for you, he starts seeing you as an equal.
That's
Soyinka. Our manpower was some years ahead of me at the University of Ife, and is now in Abu Dhabi University. It was who got Prof appointed as a visiting professor in that university, and Kongi defers to him. Are we talking of Kenny Lorry? Are we talking of Ahmed Yerima, who was rejected in Ibadan when he wanted to start his degree program, and Kongi brought him to Ife, and he has risen phenomenally academically.
If Kogi is to talk to the youths of today, going by what we face in the country, what do you think will be his words, his message to them?
Yes, you started with one. The man dies in him who keeps silent in the face of tyranny and oppression. And he said it, justice is the first condition of humanity. Whatever happens to you,
Can I read this?
don't relent pursuing justice. So what else do you want? And during one of these Soyinka's cultural exchange, children cultural exchange program, when they converged in Ijeba, he told the students, he said, see how well you blended children from north, south, and east. You wouldn't know the difference
between them.
He said, don't now allow a situation where you have your parents dictating who your friends should be on the basis of tribe or religion. What other message do you want?
Unfortunately, time is not on our side. We just have a parting shot from you.
I'll just see I can read this. Kongi Emeogun, written when it was 82. Mary, we now walk when the gods are angry. Prayed maternal grandfather, and godmother named you Akekoi, Koi, Lagi, Ajilagi, Ọkùnrin jẹ́jẹ́, Ọmọruyide, Ọ̀tọ̀lóyìn, the one who walks apart. Let me just shorten it there. Thank you.
That's the size of the program. Discussing and dissecting Professor Wole Soyinka's literary and societal impact at 92. And for those who do not know, he was born July 13, and of course, yesterday actually was his birthday, his 92nd birthday. We say happy birthday to Professor Wole Soyinka Kogi. We wish you strong health and of course many more years to celebrate. And then we must thank our guests really for coming to the program to do justice, to this topic. You have done nothing but justice to the topic. Most appreciate you. We'll be speaking with Dada Olanipekun, an author, and of course a publisher, and Fatai Adi Loja, a veteran broadcast journalist. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
And also thank you for watching the program Focus Live right here on OGTV. Next week we are going to be back with another edition of the program. Enjoy.
Thank you.